Should I wait for the Nikon Z8 or go ahead and purchase a Nikon Z9? Let's talk about that in today's video. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Wayne, and on my channel we talk camera, tech, and travel. Today I want to tell you about my experience with the Nikon Z9 and why I'm now thinking maybe it might be a better purchase for me instead of waiting for the Z8. Recently, I've had an opportunity to test and use a Z9. Now, if you remember in my earlier videos, I did mention that I pre-ordered the Z9 but canceled it when I heard it was going to take months or probably a year to come out. So since I started traveling, it's not been a thing for me. And you hear me talk about the fact that, you know, the weight of the camera is a factor and so on and so forth. What changed? I touched the camera. I handled it. I used it. I love it. Life. You know they say ignorance is bliss? Yeah. What you don't know, you don't know. Spec wise, this thing looks like a great thing. You know, as I'm looking at what the Z8 could be, as I'm researching information for my videos, one of the things that I'm usually looking at is the Z9. What does the Z9 have and what could it possibly be getting from the Z8? And for my purpose, doing more video, it's always been about, you know, the video capabilities from Z9. And is that going to trickle down to Z8? And if so, in what form? After using the Z9 and feeling how it works, you know, part of my process was this camera is great for shooting photos. It's a bit heavy for walking around and vlogging. Let's get out of the way. Nobody really vlogged with a camera that size. That would be kind of crazy. It's a heavy camera. I had thought to myself, you know, if I do go back on the Nikon side, probably the Z8 or the Z6 III, and I would get that camera that can act as a hybrid camera, good photo capabilities, fantastic video capabilities. The second be the most important, fantastic video capabilities. So the A7 R5 that I'm using, it's a great camera. As far as video functionality, it's okay. It's pretty decent. Rolling shutter is there. Granted, a lot of times you guys see me, it's like this. I've actually tested things out in the street and so on and so forth, and look at the footage and go, yeah, now I know what people are talking about. So you live and you learn. So Z9, after, you know, shooting some photos with it and so on, just clicking it, find out what it's felt like. I really like it. I think that it balances real well. But then later I had an opportunity to record a video with it. And I was surprised when I went to the menu system to see what the functionalities were there. This camera is much better than I thought it was. And the reason being is, as I'm looking at my iPad, looking at specs and so on and so forth, I know that there's been a couple firmware updates, you know, big ones, 2 and 3, that added some more things and so on and so forth. But I've never actually held a camera to really see a lot of those things. And when people are talking about things that have been added and so on and so forth, you don't usually get a lot of information about all the things. People kind of look at the things that matter to them, what they like, what they were having issues with, and then, you know, talk about that and show you what's going on. But usually it's more photographers that are doing these things. I've seen a couple of videos for non-Nikon shooters who've been talking about the video capabilities of the camera and how great it is and so on. And as I've been searching, now that I've, you know, have an interest in the camera, I won't say if there's anything over here or not, I just realized that this thing, when I say it records internally RAW, yeah, it does. And ProRes, NRAW, and all that. Don't know the size of the files just yet, but seeing all those capabilities built inside, I started to think, man, if I get rid of the Ninja and the Shinobi, I have to keep at least one Shinobi. Because this camera does all the recording stuff internally. So that's lessening my weight as I travel. Yeah, I probably have to get at least one Nikon lens to go along with that. But you know, those are the breaks. I've been trying to find a mega adapter over here in Asia to use my Sony lens, but I have not been able to find that just yet. There's a checkout version, but it doesn't work with the lenses that I have. So yeah, maybe I should have kept that 24-70. But anyhow, I wanted the 24-120, so yeah. Oh yeah, it's a great camera. Lenses are great. Some are heavier, but you know, I want to do more video. But I started to think, as I'm sitting here and I'm recording on the FX30, it's on a tripod. A lot of my stuff nowadays has been talking head videos with, you know, clips and pictures in between. Like, if you really change the channel around and you start to do more of that and a little bit of the travel stuff interspersed in, then the only real weight significance is when you're traveling, when you're moving from place to place. You're not going to take the thing I shoot every day. More than likely, probably go with the FX30, because in my mind, I would give up the A7R5 or for the Z9. So that got me thinking, it is $5,000. You're willing to splurge on it. You just got the A7R5, 4 and change. Maybe that's the one you should go with. Granted, I still think the Z8 would be a nicer, smaller camera, and that's what I should really wait for. But there's some temptations here. You know, 12-bit internal RAW recording, ProRes, H.265. You know, there's a couple of ProRes codecs in the HQ and so on that you can record with. And a bevy of 8K. Now granted, everybody knows that 8K, you know, takes a lot of space, but for some good B-rolls, yeah, those things could look awesome, right? I've used some of that for with the A7R5, so yeah, I kind of like that. So that's where I'm at right now. Do I make that decision? I mean, you know, we're still waiting for the announcement. It's the end of March. Latest rumor says probably mid to late April, on sale in June. Nobody knows for sure. And for those of you who came in the chat on my videos and said, hey, the Philippines thing was going to be it, it's not it. You probably heard by now, there is no Nikon camera release in the Philippines. It was basically for a Nikon photo walk, a get together photographers over there to teach people things and to go out and shoot with them. That's it. The rumors are rumors. Until it's a fact, it's not a fact. So let that go. Let's move forward and keep waiting, or not. If you're a Z9 fanboy, if you love it, and I say fanboy because, you know, a lot of us love it and would want to get one, but cost is a factor, right? We still don't know what the Z8 is going to be, but we'd like to have some of the video functionality. The photo guys, that camera is like so much. It's overkill for what I would use. And that's one of the reasons I'm saying, dude, pump the brakes on that one. You really don't need that. You know, you're not using the full 60 megapixel of the A7R5. The 45 megapixel, you probably won't use that either. But the video functionalities are the things that are great. No overheating is one, no fans, second. It doesn't have audio stuff like the FX30, but the A7R5, you know, it doesn't have the same kind of preamps either. So there are those things. I know that the Z9 has good preamps, they say, but it's still a 3.5 millimeter slot, not a mini XLR or anything along those lines. As you hear me talk about Z8, I'm always saying that I think they should put a bigger screen. I also want it to be more video focused. If they stuck some preamps in there with its mini XLR plugs and so on, you know, that would be great. I'm not a filmmaker, I'm just making YouTube, but we all aspire to do more. So I'm curious to hear what you guys think. If you're like me and you're on the fence, would you wait or would you jump and get that Z9? It's a question I think some people are also pondering. And if you use your camera for business, you'll probably already pick one up or are saving to get one. Because I mean, it's a great camera. Some of the videos I'm seeing and people say, you know, the autofocus isn't the best. It works. I think personally, it is the lenses. They're not really video focused, they're more photo focused. And I remember seeing something on one of Nikon's video when they talked about, you know, the cameras being good with the f1.8 lens. If Nikon is saying they're going to be focused more on video this year, and I did hear there was an interview where they said that they want to make some more video-based lens, I think that's where they're lacking, because they've always been catering to photographers and the camera can do some video stuff. But I think now Nikon is going to go down that path of making something that's really good for video. And that's what we need, a fast focusing lens that can track in video. Tracking in photo is one thing. When in video, it's like a continuous thing. If something is moving, it, like we're talking, if I move back and forth, left and right, you know, you want it to be able to track everything and not lose focus. So yeah, put in the comments your thoughts, Z9 or wait for Z8. See you in the next video.